make a way. God have the final say.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Kingdom Creatives podcast. I'm your host Flavia and I have some exciting news for you. But I also have some bad news. Which one do you want first? The bad news? Okay, no problem. Let's do that. So, unfortunately, this evening is our final episode of the Kingdom Creatives podcast. I know we were gonna have a few more weeks, but don't worry, we're gonna be re uploading our previous season, and so you'll still have some company every week, okay? Don't worry, we got you. Now, the good news is the reason we're unable to continue the podcast for this season, for the couple more weeks that we had initially planned to do, is because I'm now a radio show host at Praise 87.9 FM. For those of you who are in the Cayman Islands and you want to tune in, it is Kids Corner on a Tuesday at 4:30. That's Praise 87.9 FM. And guess what? You are the first to know. Yeah, because we're still working on a poster to upload to social media. So I just let you in on a little secret. But I just want to say thank you so much for tuning into the podcast weekly. I know we weren't able to do it as consistent in the last sections of it because, as I said, we had some things in the works that we were trying to sort out. And so, yeah, the last part wasn't as consistent as we had hoped. But for the previous episodes, weekly, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate your support. It has been tremendous. It's been a great experience for me and it has been a blessing. I hope it has blessed you as well. So to close off this episode, what I want to talk to you about, you see that thing that has been on your heart to do, that you know God has laid on your heart to do, but you keep backing away? Do it. Especially if you know it's the right time. If God has given you confirmation that it's the right time, do it. Don't hesitate. I know that it is human nature to, doubt, and sometimes you're fearful. But if God has called you to it, what do they say? They say He will equip you, right? So don't worry about all of that. All of those things are external. Your Father is the King of the universe, and whatever you need, He will take care of. So there's nothing to worry about. Absolutely nothing. And you might be saying, well, Flavia, I'm not that type of person that He wants me to be and whatever. Look here. If you had told me that I would be one, doing a podcast, and two, I would be a host on a radio show, if you had told me that a couple years ago, I'd have probably laughed because, well, for those of you who know me, I'm pretty introverted. And so me being in this capacity now as a radio show host is also one of those situations where, God is just doing His thing and I'm here for the ride. So I want to appeal to you, whatever it is that you are supposed to be doing right now, that you keep delaying, go and do it. Do that thing. That's my focus, yeah. Do that thing. You don't want it to be said that God gave you a talent, or maybe you don't know that you have the talent, but God has laid it on your heart to go and do something and you're reluctant. And then maybe a couple years down the line, or maybe months down the line, maybe someone says something to you and you start having regrets. You don't want to live your life with regrets, especially where ministry is concerned, or especially where your purpose is concerned. You don't want to be living with regrets, right? That's one of the most annoying feelings to have. You keep putting it off, and then somewhere down the line, you're like, if only I had. If only I had done this, or if only I had done that, or if only I had trusted God more, maybe my life would have turned out different. Maybe that would have happened. Maybe that would have happened. You never know. And that's the beauty of it. You never know. We need to be like Abraham, where if God says, go there, we're ready. And it's not an easy place to be. It's easier said than done. When you don't know the variables, you don't know what the outcome is going to be. And especially if you're a perfectionist, you don't know if you're going to fail or if you're going to do a bad job at first and how many mistakes you're going to make. Guess what? My very first week as a radio show host, it was rather interesting. A lot of things went wrong, but a lot of things also went right. And so we have to look for the positives even when things don't go according to our plan. Because again, it is a part of the shaping that God wants to do with you, the grooming, the nurturing. I watched a video once where it said, if you feel comfortable in what you're doing, if you feel, equipped and you feel qualified to do what you're doing, then it's quite possible that maybe that's not your purpose. It may be tied to it, it may be closely connected to it, but the video basically said your purpose is tied to something that only God can do through you. Because at the end of the day, you should not be able to say, I'm the reason I am where I am, and it's because of my ability why this happened and that happened, and they should give me all the praise. No, not at all. At the end of the day, whatever God has called you to do, He's the one that should get the glory. And I guess it's quite obvious to say that He'll put you in a circumstance where that's exactly what will happen. You probably feel inadequate, and maybe you feel like you don't have the talent, or you don't have the personality, or, all of those things that come to mind. But whatever it is that God has called you to do, even in those situations where you feel a bunch of inabilities running across your mind, still do it. Do that thing. Do that thing. Record that song. Write that book. Do that thing. If God is calling you to move to somewhere, to start afresh and do something grand with your life, and you are terrified, still do that thing. Book that ticket and go. Now, if He hasn't called you to do that, that's different. That is completely different. But if you know for a fact that that's what God has laid on your life to do in this season, in this moment, do not delay any further. Don't be the blocker to whatever blessing God has for you and for others. That gift that God has placed on your life, the purpose that God has placed within you, it's not just for you. It's not just to prosper you. It's to prosper others. It's to bless others. It's to encourage others. It's to build others up. It's to bring others closer to Him and His love. It's not just for you. So, think about it. Actually, no. Because there's a quote that I heard. It says, do or do not. There is no try. So don't just think about it. Do it. Do it. Do that thing. God is always with you. He will go before you. He's beside you. He's behind you. He's whoever and whatever you need. God is always there, and He will give you everything that you require for that task. So do that thing. So, as I said, this is the final episode. And I have mixed feelings because I'm really excited to be doing this radio show, but I'm also sad to be leaving you guys for this season. But until next time, that sounds so long. Farewell to you, my friends. Yeah. Until next time, God bless you all. Thank you so much for all your support, and thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be re-uploading the first season, I should say. So keep it locked. You'll still have some more audios to listen to, some more podcast episodes from the first season. So keep it locked to the Kingdom Creatives podcast. You've been a wonderful set of listeners. God bless you all. Stay blessed, stay safe. Take care.
You make a way that have the final say.